the Hyatt McCormick Place, but they are all gathered in a house. It's a one-day conference, and Jesus is the keynote speaker. It's a standing room only situation. It's a capacity crowd. You can't even get in the door. There are people pressed up against the window. And listen, they didn't even have a marketing firm to get the word out. The street committee was the marketing firm. Word of mouth let everybody know that there was a major conference going on. It was a jam-packed house. And as this one-day conference was going on, in this particular passage, the scripture says Jesus was giving his keynote address. Well, while Jesus is speaking, you all, I see three things that jump out in this particular passage. Three different things that are here. Number one, we see people. Somebody shout people. It's a standing room only situation. It's a capacity crowd, and it's jam-packed, and there are all kinds of people that are in the room. Well, you got to know that it's a multiplicity of people in the room for a multiplicity of reasons. You got to understand that there's a multitude here, but it's not just a multitude there for any reason at all. Those people represent needs. It's a multitude of needs that are in the room. You see, it was noised that Jesus was in the house. It was noised that a problem solver was in the house. It was noised that a solution provider was in the house. It was noised that a way maker was in the house. And you got to know, prior to them showing up, previously Peter's mother-in-law was healed. Previously, Jesus had cast out unclean spirits. And so these people had problems. They had challenges. They had struggles. They had trials. They had issues. They had difficulties. They had abstrusities. There were needs. And these people showed up because they had a problem they needed solved. They showed up because they needed a resolution. They showed up because they were in pain and struggling with problems. They had needs. And just as we see people in this particular passage, all of you know people who have needs. A matter of fact, while I'm issues, they had difficulties, they had abstrusities, there were needs, and these people showed up because they had a problem they needed solved. They showed up because they needed a resolution. They showed up because they were in pain and struggling with problems. They had needs. And just as we see people in this particular passage, all of you know people who have needs. A matter of fact, while I'm looking at some people who looking like they got it all together, if you told the truth, if you snatched the mic and testified, you would speak forth uprightly. I've got needs. I've got economic needs. I've got educational needs. They're economic needs. Equality in economics. They're social needs. They're physical needs. They're relational needs. They're parental needs. They're vocational needs. Emotional, philosophical, psychological. Everywhere you look, there are people with needs. We see people, and we can look